What was supposed to be a quick, decisive strike is turning into something far more serious. US losses are already mounting, dozens killed and hundreds wounded, billions in damage, oil prices exploding, and now millions of Americans are out in the streets in some of the biggest protests in years. This is no longer just a war overseas, it's a chain reaction that's hitting the economy, the streets, and the political system all at once. And the question is getting louder every day. Is this operation starting to backfire? And is Trump's grip on power beginning to slip?
Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're diving deep into one of the most explosive stories unfolding right now in early April 2026, the real human and financial cost of the US-Iran conflict, codenamed Operation Epic Fury, and how it's feeding straight into the chaos at home. Skyrocketing oil prices, historic anti-Trump protests, and growing questions about whether the president's grip on power is starting to slip. Let's start with the military side, because the numbers are sobering. The operation kicked off at the end of February with heavy US and Israeli airstrikes on Iranian nuclear sites, missile facilities, and command centers. The goal was clear: degrade Iran's capabilities fast and force them to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. But Iran responded with a barrage of drones and ballistic missiles aimed at American bases across the region in Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Iraq, and beyond. US losses in the conflict so far. According to official Pentagon and CENTCOM statements, as of late March to early April, killed in action, between 13 and 15 US service members confirmed dead. Several died in the initial Iranian attacks, including a drone strike on Port Shuaiba in Kuwait that hit Army Reserve troops hard. Others succumbed to wounds later, including one at Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. Many of the fallen were reservists, not frontline combat troops. Wounded, the number has climbed steadily. Early reports spoke of around 140 wounded in the first 10 days. By mid to late March, CENTCOM was reporting nearly 300 US troops injured from drone and missile strikes, with some estimates reaching over 320 when including smoke inhalation, concussions, and blast injuries. About 88% of the wounded have returned to duty, but at least 10 to 15 remain seriously injured, with some suffering traumatic brain injuries, TBI. These are not trivial numbers. While the US has avoided a large-scale ground invasion, sticking mostly to air and naval strikes, the asymmetric Iranian response using cheap drones and missiles has still drawn blood. Iranian state media and proxies wildly inflate the figures, claiming hundreds killed and thousands wounded. But independent verification puts the real toll much lower, though still painful. On the material side, the damage is costly too. Early assessments put the bill for damaged radars, SATCOM terminals, air defense systems, and aircraft, including some F-15E Strike Eagles, at $1.4 to $2.9 billion in the first few weeks alone. That includes repairs, replacements, and lost capabilities. Some reports mention friendly fire incidents and damage to high-value assets at bases like Al Udeid in Qatar. Compared to past conflicts, these losses are relatively contained, nowhere near the thousands killed in Iraq or Afghanistan. But in a short, high-tech campaign that was sold as precise and limited, even 15 dead and hundreds wounded feel heavy. Every service member lost hits hard, especially when many come from reserve units with families back home. The oil and global chaos connection. Here's where it gets even worse for everyday people. Iran's strategy wasn't just direct attacks on bases, it was weaponizing the Strait of Hormuz. Traffic through this critical choke point, which carries about 20% of global oil, dropped dramatically. Combined with the hit on Qatar's Ras Laffan LNG facility, this triggered a sharp energy shock. Oil prices, Brent crude, spiked hard, trading in the $100, $120 range at peaks and staying elevated. Gas prices at the pump in the US and Europe jumped noticeably. Analysts warned that if the strait isn't fully secured by mid-April, we could see another leg up, pushing toward 130 plus and feeding broader inflation. This isn't abstract. It means higher costs for driving, groceries, heating, and shipping. The very war meant to project strength is now hitting American wallets and contributing to public anger. Historic no kings protests and Trump's sliding poll numbers. All of this is pouring gasoline on the fire at home. On March 28th, the third wave of no kings protests became truly massive. Organizers estimate over 8 million people participated in more than 3,300 events across all 50 states. That's being called one of the largest single-day protest mobilizations in US history. Crowds weren't limited to big liberal cities. They showed up in suburbs and even some red-leaning areas. People are protesting the war itself, the rising cost of living caused by energy prices, the prolonged government shutdown, and what they call Trump's overreach. Trump's approval rating has taken a clear beating. Recent polls, Reuters, Ipsos, and others, show it sinking to the low 30s to low 40s, with some hitting a new low around 36%. Disapproval on his handling of the Iran situation sits above 60% for many voters. Even some Republican voices are expressing quiet concern that the combination of war costs, economic pain, and endless drama is hurting the party ahead of the midterms. The White House still talks tough, highlighting military successes, weakened Iranian capabilities, and possible deals on the horizon. But the shifting deadlines, mixed signals, and visible domestic backlash are creating a narrative that things are not going according to plan. Critics are openly asking, was this a strategic miscalculation? Is the administration underestimating the staying power of Iranian asymmetric tactics and the patience of the American public? So, is Trump losing power? Is the chair wobbling? Here's the honest take. It's not the end yet, and it's not a total collapse. The US military has inflicted serious damage on Iran's infrastructure, and Trump's base still largely supports strong action against Tehran. But the momentum has shifted in a worrying direction for the administration. Historic protests on this scale, combined with tangible economic pain from higher energy prices and a grinding shutdown, are eroding his position. If the war drags on without a clean off-ramp, if gas prices keep climbing, and if the No Kings movement sustains its energy into the summer and fall, the pressure could become much harder to manage. This isn't 2017-2021 anymore. The public is war-weary after years of global tensions, and many voters expected Trump to focus on America First economics rather than another Middle East entanglement that's now costing lives and dollars at home. The coming weeks are critical. If the Strait of Hormuz reopens, energy prices ease, and some kind of face-saving deal emerges, Trump can still claim victory and stabilize the situation. But if the casualties continue to mount, the economic ripple effects worsen, and the protests keep growing, that famous Trump resilience will be tested like never before. This is a fluid, high-stakes moment. Lives have already been lost, billions spent, and millions are in the streets saying, enough. I want to hear from you in the comments. What do you make of the casualty numbers? Are they higher or lower than you expected? Have the rising gas prices or the protests affected you or people you know? Do you think Trump is losing ground, or will he manage to turn this around? Drop your honest thoughts below, no matter which side you're on. I read every comment. If you want a deeper dive into any part, the military losses, the economic impact, the protests, or what might happen next, just let me know. Hit like if you want more Straight Talk videos like this, subscribe and turn on notifications so you stay updated as this story develops fast. Stay safe out there, guys. Things are moving quickly. I'll see you in the next one.